Hey, it's Rachel Tipton with King One Properties International, and this is Rachel on Real Estate. This is part 3 in my series on how to buy a home in 2018, and today we focus on the close. Once you have gone through all the process of getting ready to purchase a house and found the house that you want, now you have moved with your agent and your attorney into closing. In South Carolina, the attorney handles all of the closing and the title search. In some other states in the United States, there is a separate title company that does that work. So here, the paralegal and the attorney takes care of all of that. Now, the first thing that will happen once we have moved into closing, or one of the first things, is as a buyer, you will probably want a home inspection of the home. It's not a requirement, but I highly suggest you do this. What a good home inspector will do is go through the house and look at all of the things in the house that are needed for it to function. The heating, the air, the electricity, plumbing, the roof, the structure, etc. And a good home inspector will point out anything that is wrong in the house or needs attention, and hopefully point out some of the things that are great looking in the house. Now, the important thing to know is the limits of a home inspection. A home inspector is not a service provider that can give a diagnosis on any specific problem. That's not his job. His job is to say, hey, there's something over here in the ceiling that looks like there either is a leak or there was a leak. I can't say, but you probably want to have a certified specialist in that area to check that out. So you should end up with a list of things that you can address and then bring back to the seller if necessary. If there's anything having to do with, as I mentioned, electric, heating and air, plumbing, the roof, the structure of the house, all of those things have to be delivered in operable condition to the buyer. So you may want to make some requests, and that just depends on the situation of the home and how the negotiations go. So talk to your agent about that. Also, you're going to need to secure your home insurance. If you are doing any work with a lender or financing the home, you are going to have home insurance, and of course you want to have insurance on your house. So ask your agent for some recommendations about home insurance and get that set up prior to closing as quickly as you can so that you're not surprised about the numbers. And the main thing you'll need in the closing process is patience. There are so many aspects of the lending process. It's actually a little simpler than it was following the crash of 2007. And so things have gotten a little smoother with lenders. They are working faster, but you still just have to be patient. And if your lender or your attorney asks for information, just make sure that you provide that to them as quickly as possible. And if they ask for something multiple times, they sometimes do, then just patiently return it. I recommend to my buyers, just keep a file on your computer of all those documents that you can email so you can access them easily, or keep a file folder of physical documents. And be prepared for things to happen. There's sometimes are bumps in the road. So just know that every closing ends up with some sort of challenge. If it doesn't, then that's just amazing. It's like kind of like a unicorn in the sea of closings, that something usually comes up. So just be patient, be communicative, and be ready to make some shifts in whatever direction needs done to get to closing. And also try not to schedule a closing on a Friday or at the end of the month. That reason being is that if something happens, then you're going to have to go through the whole weekend of being up in the air. And at the end of the month, lenders tend to be buried under a lot of stuff. So you might want to just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Also, don't show up to your closing with all your stuff in the van just in case something happens. I've seen that happen before, and people are like, what? All my stuff's in the van. I'm ready to move in. Just be sure you are asking a lot of questions to make sure you know exactly what's happening. Now, also remember that all of this stuff going on, try not to let it remove the joy of the process of purchasing this new home that you're super excited about. Just be patient and keep visualizing yourself in the home, and keep yourself occupied with packing up your stuff and preparing yourself for moving into the new home. Now, when you reach settlement day, 3 days prior, especially if you have a lender, you should receive your closing disclosure, which lets you know exactly how much money you need to bring to the table. And normally the attorneys will provide you wiring instructions or instruct you of what type of check, certified check you need to bring. So just be watching for that, or asking about that you should have it 3 days prior to closing, 3 business days. And when you get there, there'll be a whole slew of documents to sign. So just warm up your hand, because you'll have to sign about 1,000 times, it seems like, especially if you are using financing for your home. And I love to come to closings for both sides, either the seller or the buyer. A real estate agent is not required to be at a closing, but I like to be there just in case there's any confusion, or there's anything, any loose ends to tie up, or anything that I can help with. As well as I like to be there to celebrate the closing with you. So all of that being said, I hope that you enjoy your process of purchasing a home. Be sure to go back if you didn't see the first 2 videos about the prep and the hunt for your home and buying a home in 2018. You go back and look for those. If you have any questions about purchasing a home in 2018, please reach out to me. I always have my phone. You can text me or call me at 843-424-0995. Shoot me an email, rachel@king1properties.com, or find me on my website rachelonrealestate.com. Have a good one.